Bodrum Mosque in Istanbul, Turkey, is a former Eastern Orthodox church converted into a mosque by the Ottomans. The church was known under the Greek name of Myrelaion. Location: the medieval structure, rather incongruously choked on three sides by modern blocks, stands in Istanbul, in the district of Fatih, in the neighborhood of Laleli, 1 kilometer west of the ruins of the great palaces of Constantinople. History: some years before 922, possibly during the wars against Samian-Eyes Bulgaria, the Drungarius Romanos Paspatēs bought a house in the 9th region of Constantinople, not far from the Sea of Marmara, in the place called Myrelaion. After his accession to the throne, this building became the nucleus of a new imperial palace, intended to challenge the neighboring great palaces of Constantinople and the family shrine of the Paspatēs family. The Palace of Myrelaion was built on top of a giant 5th-century rotunda which, with an external diameter of 41.8 meters, was the second largest, after the Roman Pantheon, in the ancient world. In the 10th century the rotunda was not used anymore, and then it was converted, possibly by Romanos himself, into a cistern by covering its interior with a vaulted system carried by at least 70 columns. Near the palace the emperor built a church which he intended from the beginning to use as burial place for his family. The first person to be buried there was his wife Theodora, in December 922, followed by his eldest son and co-emperor Christopher, who died in 931. By doing so, Romanos interrupted a 6-century-old tradition, whereby almost all the Byzantine emperors since Constantine I were buried in the Church of the Holy Apostles. Later the emperor converted his palace into a nunnery and, after his deposition and death in exile as monk in the island of Prote in June 948, he too was buried in the church. The shrine was ravaged by fire in 1203, during the Fourth Crusade. Abandoned during the Latin occupation of Constantinople, the building was repaired at the end of the 13th century, during the period of the Paleologan Restoration. After the Ottoman conquest of Constantinople in 1453, the Myrelaion was converted into a mosque by Grand Vizier Messi Pasha around the year 1500. During the reign of Beza II, the mosque was named after its substructure, but was also known under the name of its founder. The edifice was damaged again by fires in 1784 and 1911, when it was abandoned. In 1930, an excavation led by David Talbot Rice discovered the round cistern. In 1964–1965, a radical restoration led by the Archaeological Museum of Istanbul replaced almost all the external masonry of the edifice, and was then interrupted. In 1965, two parallel excavations led by art historian Cecil L. Stryker and by R. Naumann focused respectively on the substructure and on the imperial palace. The building was finally restored in 1986 when it was reopened as mosque. In 1990, the cistern was restored too, and it has hosted a shopping mall for a few years. Now the cistern is used by the women to pray. Architecture. Building. The building, whose masonry consists entirely of bricks, is built on a foundation structure made of alternated courses of bricks and stone, and has a cross-in-square plan, with a 9-meter-long side. The central nave is surmounted by an umbrella dome, with a drum interrupted by arched windows, which gives to the structure an undulating rhythmus. The four side naves are covered by barrel vaults. The edifice has a narthex to the west and a sanctuary to the east. The central bay of the narthex is covered by dome, the two side bays by cross vaults. The nave is partitioned by 4 piers, which substituted in the Ottoman period the original columns. Many openings, windows, elder baths and arches, give light to the structure. The exterior of the building is characterized by the half-cylindrical buttresses which articulate its facades. Originally an exonarthex existed too, but in the Ottoman period it was replaced by a wooden portico. The building has 3 polygonal apses. The central one belongs to the sanctuary, while the lateral are parts of 2 clover-shaped side chapels, prothesis and diaconicon. The Ottomans built a stone minaret close to the narthex. The building was originally decorated with a marble revêtement and mosaics, which disappeared totally. As a whole, Bodrum Mosque shows strong analogies with the North Church of the Fenari Isa complex. The substructure, in contrast with the building, has an austere and rough aspect. Originally its purpose was only that of bringing the church to the same level of the Palace of Lake Arpanos. After the restoration in the Paleologan period it was used as burial chapel. This edifice is the first example of a private burial church of a Byzantine emperor, starting so a tradition typical of the later Komnenian and Paleologan periods. Moreover, the building represents a beautiful example of the cross in square-type church, the new architectural type of the Middle Byzantine architecture.